Hello friends, this is Cara-Renee with B.Reborn Art and Healing, coming to you with my annual Summer 2025 studio tour. I did decide to go ahead and do this on my own, so fingers crossed that it's not too crazy. I thought I would give you a peek into my husband's renovated man cave. This place used to be so dark. It had dark green walls and it was just really dark. So it's all ready for the kiddos to come over tonight for about 4 days. So I just thought I'd give you a peek there. That's the custom desk that he made. He actually recycled it from an old desk and used the constructs of it to build a new one. So now onward into my happy, peaceful place. This is my studio. The room measures about 100 by 110 square feet. I have it jam-packed with furniture. I couldn't get another thing in here if I tried, though I do often try. I'm just going to start with a little bit of a panoramic kind of high up, so that you can see the higher sections of the walls, as well as kind of how high everything goes, because I have calyx units that sit behind me that are up on a frame because of the heating vents, so they're a little bit taller than the ones next to them. But this is my space. This is the place that I find the greatest amount of peace. I love all of the bright colors. I love all the light, the white, the brightness of it, and the lamps and all of that just help me with the ambiance in the room. I also love being surrounded by all of my favorite things. Everything that you see in this video in this studio is meaningful to me. There are things that I've collected, or things that have been given to me that are very meaningful. So there we go, and I'm hoping that those transitions are going to feel okay. The studio is small, it's hard to get around, so I'll be talking about that as we go. I have all my stencils on hooks on the back of my door, which works brilliantly for me. I do have a handful here to my left that I often use in my journals, but these are my mixed media stencils primarily. That tall shelf in the corner, it just holds all the random stuff, bottles and mediums and gesso and water containers and all that kind of stuff that I use primarily when I do a lot of mixed media. Up on that shelf are just my 2 library journals I'm working on. That white tray is a sort tray. I did move that from my desk up to the top there. And this is a small 1 by 4, I believe it's calyx unit, and it holds primarily my ephemera. So I'll show you the little folders that I put them in here in a moment, but just scanning down there to the bottom holds a lot of stuff. Those shelves that are in there are a calyx unit insert that you can buy when you go this route with your studio organization. So these are the sleeves that I use. They're a policy envelope, really durable plastic. I have a lot of work to do in those. I didn't get to them yet this summer to get them all labeled properly, but they're a great way for me to store the bigger stuff that doesn't fit in my little binders that you'll see here in a little bit. Some of it is just they're cut down from the bigger sheets, but they still need a lot of trimming out. Some of them are completely done, but there's, I think, 4 of those. I'm pretty sure there's 4 baskets. Some of them are just random things one basket's just random things that need to be sorted, but these are things, again, I think I'm going into year 5 now of doing junk journaling, so I have collected a lot of stuff. And I've been an artist for my entire adult life, so some of this has traveled with me through time as well. Not the junk journal stuff, but the mediums, the paints and things that you're going to be seeing here in a little while. But this is a great way to store my stuff. I love sharing storage solutions because these are just baskets from Fred Meyer. They're very deep and they're very big, and they fit perfectly in these calyx units. So this is just my individual paper book pages and things primarily book pages, music pages that are loose that I just throw in there. This is my basket of new supplies. They're just things that I purchased that I have not yet put in their home, and if they're things that I want to use before I store them, I keep them in this basket until I get to that point. There's some mixed media stuff in there, and then there's some new embossing folders that I have not yet had a chance to use, as I'm showing you there. And then down below, that one is where I keep my art journal, and then that's a writing journal, and I think there's some other journals underneath it, art journals. So, and then the bottom one is just random stuff. I have so many random things in my studio. It's like, what, some things just don't, it's like, where do I put all these things? So that shelf there with all the little pink folders, that's where I keep my small ephemera, like my little quotes, my words, little tiny flowers and things like that. I didn't think to open one of those up and show you, but I think I've showed you in a past video. It's something that I got from Soto Studios quite a while ago, so they need some work too in terms of a little bit of organization. So just showing you, this is my view from where I'm sitting. Now, many of you will have seen the photos I put up on my Facebook and Instagram where I switched where my computer was, but I sat here for an evening, and I did move my chair out so I could move around. I sat here for an evening trying to edit a video, and my neck hurt so bad from looking so much to the right of me that I had to make a change. So we'll talk about that again in a minute. This is my die storage. They are just a plastic envelope that I purchased on Amazon. I'll try to remember to link it. They have a magnetic sheet in there, and that works really well for me. And this sits right behind me. And then this is my embossing folders. I have a lot, and I have some duplicates, so I probably should pay that forward and send out my duplicates to people in Happy Mail. I think I have about 3 of them that I've double purchased, so it's ridiculous. And then onward down, this is a drawer that has coffee dyed random papers like doilies and envelopes and paper bags and things like that. So I'm going to show you just a little bit of that. I'm trying to hold my phone with one hand and open drawers and move things with the other hand, and it's very fatiguing. But this is some random spooled lace, large spooled lace. That doily seemed to have fallen out of place, and then there's some brown paper in there that I really enjoy working with as well. And then down there, I don't know, that has a piece of paper in it, but it's just a free bin. I need to figure out how to fill it. And down here are my stamps. So I've talked about, not all my stamps, as you're going to see in a minute, but this is the stamps I use primarily for mixed media and for things in my journal. So they've all been sorted. Some of the baskets are a little bit stacked, but they're right behind me, so I can just reach and grab that whole basket and set it up on my table and pick through it. I've got 2 drawers of this coffee dyed textiles here. These are the things I use the most. This is some gauze, which I absolutely love. It almost feels like cotton. And then there's some duck cloth there as well that I've coffee dyed. Excuse me. And then here, and it's really hard to get the angle here because I don't have a lot of room between my body and the drawer. So these are little bits of coffee dyed lace and pieces of doily and things like that I have collected and coffee dyed, as I'm going to show you here in a sec. And they're also ones that I purchased from, I like to support Etsy sellers, so sometimes I'll just go on and I'll find somebody and I'll purchase some of their textiles. This is how I spool all my ribbon. This is all my rosette trim, and they're all spooled on cardboard spools, so I will link those down below in the video description box. These do stay pretty neat and tidy. I'm a very neat crafter. Some of these drawers, as you're going to see, are a mess. The gauze and other drawer, and then the vintage textiles, they're too high for me to get my camera up there to show you, but I can just pull the drawer right out. It comes right out, so it's nice. It's kind of hard to see where to pull the knob through the camera, but this drawer is a mess. It's got like all that ribbon that doesn't stay spooled and stuff, so I'm still trying to figure out a solution for that. But onward, this is just more, this is the more boho textile, kind of odd textile kinds of things that I might use in a journal, and then more spool lace. I have a lot of lace I've been collecting for a long time. Again, I think this is year 5 for me of journal making, so we tend to accumulate a lot. The good thing is I do know what I have. I know everything that I have. And so every time I make a circuit through the studio and I move things around, or I just move just something little to, or label the drawer a little bit differently so I can exactly see what I have. And I did a lot more of that as I prepared for this video. Some of my drawers are much more specific in terms of what is in them, so that's really helpful. And then I had to keep getting down on the ground because some of the stuff is really low, so my cue was I just turned the camera to the floor, and then I knew that was a break in the video. Copy paper in that cabinet, and then you just saw all of my inks, which are a disaster. And this is kind of some random stuff, so that's mostly beads, and then down below there's beads, mini ink pads. I think they're distress ink pads, and then some alphabet stamps. Brads, some random jewelry and things like that are in this drawer. So I did organize the bead stuff about a month ago, so before school was even out. So I feel pretty happy about how things are arranged and how I access them. So and yeah, and I included in my bead is all of my bulb pins and safety pins, and a lot of the decorative paper clips are all in these little containers as well. So going to go up. This is the far corner. This is one of my favorite corners in the studio because it sits right to the left of me, this corner, and it's where my printer is. And I've kind of taken this area and made it really sweet and something that I really like to look at. So you can see we've got Penelope there, and then that piece of artwork that I made that is entitled Defined, and it's one of my favorite pieces that I decided to keep for myself. I bought that pot holder. I think it's a pot lid holder, and it's working amazing. I just reach over to my left and grab it. And I'm just showing you the decorative parts too, because I really believe that at least for me, joy is found in being surrounded by things that make me smile, and all of these things make me smile. And so I'm super happy to be able to display them. I'm very grateful for this space, even though it's cramped because I've got so much in here. But these are my project baskets, which I've talked often about. This unit sits to my left, right behind me, and I can just reach and grab the basket and put it on my desk, and I've got everything that I need for that project. So I have these plastic containers that I put my ephemera in, smaller ones for beads that are associated with that, or charms and things that I'm adding. A lot of times lace will stay in there for the duration of the project. That's the Christmas grungy journal, and I need to finish that, but that'll come later in the fall. I've got so many journals to finish that I've run out of space in the studio. So this is the basket for the library journals, which I am nearing the end of those projects, so I'm glad about that. This is the Paris journal, and the Paris, I can't remember what I called it, what I was naming it. This is my my recycle bin, so I just use one of my canvas bins for that, and it's pretty handy. Now I'm not going to show you that cart that's right there. It's just there's a file folder area there, and then the other shelves that you see to the left are where I can just throw stuff. Like if I'm working on a project, I don't want bunch of scraps I need them, get them off my table, I just put them there. And then in here I have a lot of the little the policy envelopes in larger style that holds specialty paper, coffee dyed paper, and things like that. That cart that you just saw is something that I can just pull a little bit closer to me when I'm working. And so that's pretty cool and works really, really well. And when I made some changes in here, I moved one of the Calyx units, which you're going to see here in a second. It used to be on my right, and I've moved it onto the left, and that's working out really great because it gives me more working space over on my left, which is where I tend to go when I'm processing my video. So that's pretty cool. So again, another cut. It's difficult. I had to take rests and put my phone down because it hurts to hold it and get all these in all these places. And this was a hard part to film because it sits so close to my desk. So I'm going to do my very best to not make you dizzy. And again, please keep in mind, guys, that I've been doing this for a long time. I've been doing mixed media since I think 2000. Well, I've been doing crafting using acrylics for years and years and years, but I started doing mixed media, I believe, in 2018. And so it's a lot of years of accumulation. And this is something that I changed here, is I was a little bit more specific about what was in the drawers. You can see there miscellaneous ephemera, sheer bags, tag bases, rub-ons, large stickers, dried flowers, index cards, and etc. So now when I just glance over there, I know exactly what is in that drawer. And I do a lot of fussing in the studio too because it reminds me of where things are. So it's really handy. These are this is just a basket of books. They're the ones I most commonly grab when I need a book page or music page. And then this is my bin of all of my basically Junk Journal July and Junk Journal January stuff that I've accumulated. It's more collage type of things that are all kind of in one basket. So again, something that I can grab and just put on my desk. So hard to reach those things. These are these are towels that I use for towels and rags for mixed media primarily. This is a drawer with all of my daubers and things of that nature, including looks like the felt ones for alcohol inks. And then again, I apologize for the angle. It was really hard to get in here. That is another drawer of miscellaneous ephemera. Most of it is authentic ephemera that has been given to me or I have purchased. And then this drawer is primarily, there's some vintage wallpaper in there, but a lot of this stuff is from Vanessa over at Clemens Crafts. I'm going to link her down below, you guys. If you've never purchased one of her bundles, you are missing out. It's amazing, absolutely amazing. This is my tape and gloves drawer, and that's all the tapes I use for both watercolor, mixed media, and book binding. And then again, I've been doing this a long time, so lots and lots of paints. Those are my high flow acrylics, Jane Davenport paints, etc. My Liquitex acrylics and golden acrylics. These are my go-to paints when I'm doing mixed media. They're very, very well used and well loved. I need to probably go through them and see if there's any that are just spent and that need to be tossed out. Miscellaneous mixed media. So these are like little beads, little rocks, and things like that, along with some Blick matte paint and my India inks, which I haven't used in years. I wanted to keep this stuff right here by me because I want to really start incorporating some of this stuff back into my journey here in the studio and show you how you can use different things like powders and stuff. And this is another mixed media mediums drawer, Inktense blocks. There's colored pencils and things like that in there as well. And then that bin there is all packaging and cellophane and whatnot. Now this I couldn't really film for you, and I apologize for that cord. It's for the fan. This is where I keep all of my recycled stuff. So my embossed, well, there's embossed paper there, and then there's sorry, that went really fast. All my recycled stuff, bags, boxes, you know, all that kind of stuff. And so just another start here at the corner of my desk. This is the unit that I moved from the right side of me over to the left with the stencils hanging there. It's perfect because it's not nothing's now blocking those drawers. And it seems like I always end up with something blocking those drawers, and it's not very conducive to working in here at all. So I'm always finding new ways to have things be nice and make sense. So again, just this is what I look at. And so somebody wanted me to talk a little bit about my filming setup. So I will link the things that I use down below in the description box. I just use a Brio webcam, and it's on a cheap arm from Amazon. I use some editing software from Movavi, and my webcam plugs right into my computer, and no struggle whatsoever. It's beautiful, seamless, but I will link that stuff down below. I know that I had one person at least asking about that. I will link as much of this stuff as I possibly can. Some of the IKEA furniture is no longer available. I believe the ones, which you'll see in a minute, these ones they still sell, which I love. I think I have 4 of these, which you'll see in a minute. This drawer is specialty paper and doilies that have not yet been coffee dyed and whatnot. And then more specialty papers. A lot of that stuff I bought from Amazon because you can get it in color packs, so it's really nice to do that. And then this is my sewing drawer, and the only bummer about this is that the shelf sits so close to my desk. I have to move everything out of my way to be able to open the drawers, but I can navigate pretty well. The miscellaneous drawer there has the things I grab for the most when I'm creating, and I've got my desk covered. So but yeah, here we go. And that sign is something that a friend of mine, a coworker years ago, bought me, and I just love having it in front of me, and I love having something from her. She was a really sweet friend and coworker. So, and that's my fitness frog that my sister bought me for my birthday. And this is the drawer that I get into most, my glue sticks, the one I use, a bunch of other stuff, all my clips and binder clips and all that I might need when I'm creating. Down here is a little bit more mixed media style stuff. I've got soft pastels, the Marabou crayons, which I don't use enough. I need to start playing with those. And then Stabilo pencils there as well. And then all of my cards that I use for scraping and things like that I found are in that drawer. So sometimes you can be so organized that you have no idea where anything is. The struggle is real. Now I'm going to go down. I think I had to go down on the floor on my knees here because this is down below my desk. This is a drawer that I always keep right next to me because it's got my wipes and my parchment and then some other random things that I could probably organize a little bit better. 2 drawers here of adhesives that used to be off to my left, but then I could never get into them because I always had stuff blocking that. Now there's nothing blocking it. So, but this works really well to have these grab and go things. That's a bunch of adhesive, and then I think Nuvo drops and things like that. Tim Holtz tissue paper and cloth tape, which I lose track of because I don't have the drawer labeled. I do need to relabel these drawers. I didn't do them after I moved some stuff around, but it's kind of hard for you to see anyway. And then some just basic tools, my webcam that I pull out when I do my Beloved Beauty Monthly because it's a forward-facing camera, my scale, and my label maker, which I absolutely love. I use it like crazy. But I didn't relabel these drawers. I forgot. And it's hard for you to see on camera because the paper's gray, but I need to work on that and just get some simple descriptions on those drawers. Everything else was relabeled and is up to date. And then here, this is a miscellaneous drawer. I'm always like, I need a place for things that I don't know where to put them. So that's the drawer for that. I have 2 drawers like that actually, at least. That is my bling drawer, which I think is much more handy to have there to my right. Those are all my mostly punches that are page edge punchers and corner punches. And then another miscellaneous drawer. The struggle is real. Like, yeah, it's so real. But at least I know what's in there. And then I'm going to show you this little tool. This is a USB air blower. So you know how I used to buy the canned air? Now I got this, and I can just plug that thing in, charge it up, and I can dust my room. And I love it. So, and that is just some leftover chipboard. I pulled my sewing machine out away from the table just to show you how it works. Now this was a change in the studio to put it on the right side of my desk at the end because I can just pull it over, and it's one of those carts that has the power in it. So my I can just take it and plug it into the wall behind me, and sew, which is where I was just pointing. And it's my my die cutter, my Sizzix switch is there too, and the cord is already in the cabinet there. So I just have to plug it into the wall, which works really, really well. So I didn't open anything here because it's not really anything exciting. There's napkins, and I think there's some other recycled paper and things. And then those clear containers are where I keep a lot of papers, kits and favorite kits that I love, like Ruby and Pearl and transfer paper, rice paper, pink monarch prints, as well as my project papers. And then the binders, I'll link the video down below about the process that I went through to start tracking my digitals in a different way. So all those binders hold stencils. I think 2 of the binders are stencils, again, accumulated from years of doing mixed media, and then the other ones are my digitals, just a screen print of digitals, so that I can just reference it when I'm looking for something. And again, just showing you, my favorite things. That rabbit was something very important to me many years ago, and it's still important to me to have in my space and makes me happy. This drawer is over to my right on the wall by the door, and it has, that drawer has all my metal bits. Again, I used to do a lot of mixed media. I don't do as much anymore. Re-inkers, embossing powder, embossing ink, and things like that are in this drawer. So yeah, I don't use this stuff as much as I used to. Again, I don't do as much mixed media, but I hold on to it because you never know what you're going to need if the creative bug bites, So just moving on. Again, it's very fatiguing to hold the camera or the phone. So this is my small watercolor palette drawer. I do have a lot of palettes. I love watercolor. I love to play with different makers, different brands, and so that drawer holds a lot of the smaller palettes. And this is just kind of a miscellaneous drawer: manuals, a copy of the Constitution, and other random things. So, and then here is a unit that sits kind of in the corner here to my right. And it holds all of you saw the scrapbooking paper to the right in the other unit. I didn't really talk much about that. I'm actually thinking about weeding. No, I guess this is the scrapbooking paper. Sorry, I moved the binders. I don't use scrapbooking paper a lot, so I'm thinking about going through some of that and seeing what I want to keep and what I want to get rid of. But another favorite spot in the studio, it just has so much meaning for me, just to be able to look at these things. It's the wall that's across from me when I'm sitting in here. So, and that picture of Jesus and the little girl, my dear friend Sharon gave that to me many years ago. I have 2 pictures, and I cherish them. So I've got 2 drawers of my templates / samples. So I need to go through those and find a better way to organize them, as well as I need to start there's some stuff in those drawers that needs to go in the reference journal that I have not done yet. That drawer is journal overflow. The cords, the nauseous cords, but you got to be able to access them. I don't even know what's in there, but I know they're important. Another miscellaneous drawer, which is some notebooks and such. And then this is small ephemera that's pre-made, so paper clips and corner huggers and dangles and things like that I've got in this drawer at this point in time. And the plastic container you see there, Hobby Lobby used to carry a set a couple years ago, and I just bought them up. Like, I love them. They fit in my drawers perfectly. They don't have them anymore, but they're just a really durable, solid plastic bin, so they work really well in these Calyx drawers. So I've got 2 watercolor drawers here. The watercolor miscellaneous is just rags that are specific to watercolor, some extra watercolor cups, and some wipes and stuff for when I travel and I want to repack my bags. And this is a drawer with some other bigger watercolor palettes that is an overflow. And again, just all my favorite things. The duck my sister got me for my birthday this year. That mixed media piece that I just passed by, I made many years ago. A sign that my daughter had made for me. And then that's the other picture that goes with the Jesus and the little girl picture. And then the heart mixed media piece is another one that I made. It says, nobody can tell you, oh, I can't read it from here. Oh, nobody can tell you your dreams are too big. That was a mixed media Sunday's Art of Truth that I did. Lots of pencils, a lot of colored pencils and watercolor pencils, and these are journals that have either been given to me or I have made and kept. And that, trying to remember where I went from here, if I go to the drawers now or not. Oh, and the toilet paper my husband got me for that for my my 60th birthday. I love the out of you. I'm not tired of looking at it, so there it sits. And this is a Fun Bits drawer. It's got just, I don't even know what's in there. It would probably be like Christmas if I were to actually take the time to go through it. And then watercolor. Those are finished watercolor paintings and watercolor paper. And then this is my Bodacious palette. You guys saw me share this on video recently, and so I found a home for that there. And this is a drawer. It's an old silverware drawer that used to belong to my mother-in-law. And when she passed, this was one of the things I decided I wanted to keep. And I had it, I painted it, and I did a crackle on it. And I did repurpose that a little bit after I recorded the video. And I put all of my overflow of paper clips and other metal bits that, you know, like bulb pins and things that are overflow. I put those in there instead. So... And then here's just a variety of powders. I've got my Brusho Color Burst powders. Again, I always forget to use these. I need to do it, you guys. I need to do it for you on camera because this product goes a long, long way. And I have so much of it because, again, I've been doing mixed media a long time and I used to use this stuff all the time. Here is my... waxes, and the ones to the right, the little tins, those are probably need to be trashed. I think they're dried out. I just haven't confirmed that. And then some Finnabair little balls and things. They're just great for making some mixed media texture. So another transition there. And this is an overflow drawer as well, just for papers that I just don't know what I need to sort them. They need to go to where they're gonna live. So this drawer is Arteza paints, acrylic paints, and acrylic gouache, and my India inks. Oh, I took the India inks out of there. So this drawer is all of my pan pastels. I've done some gel printing with pan pastels. They're absolutely a blast to work with. This is another miscellaneous basket. I just probably need to go through. You can only have so many miscellaneous baskets in one space, but it is what it is for now. And here, jelly print stuff. So this is all my supplies, my jelly print plates, my rollers, and then the next drawer down is all the other material like texture plates and other supplies that I've collected to make texture on my plate. So struggling to try to see what I'm looking at through the camera. Oh my gosh. And then the second drawer, as I just mentioned. I thought about waiting for my grandson to come over later today and do this with me, but it was actually easier to do it myself because I wasn't having to think about another body in the space while we're trying to navigate around the studio. So I'm hoping that this will suffice. So I'd love your feedback. If you found it frustrating, I would love to hear that. Alcohol inks, I've got two drawers. One holds some of the supplies, and then the other one holds the inks. So I've got the cool tins that work really well. It's another thing I haven't done recently. I need to get the alcohol inks back out. I have a drawer of clay supplies. I do have a lot of clay molds because, again, I used to primarily, all I did on my channel was mixed media. And so I still have a lot of stuff and I need to get back to it. I would really love to try to do hot glue in them. I've got a better hot glue gun, so I'm hoping that I can give that a try soon. And then this is the wax supply drawer. I gave up trying to do the burner ones because I was setting things on fire and it was just not a good scene. So I have the electric ones you plug in. More paints. These are Waverly paints, and then the bottles are I can't remember the brand those are, but this drawer I struggle with a little bit because there's a bag of sponges that I could not keep the drawer open, and I couldn't find the handle through the viewer on my phone, so I just removed that for the time being. And that's just got some open acrylics and then some sponges, and that is a tray for doing mixing acrylic paints. So just some random stuff in there as well. And oh, that was a fast transition. Sorry about that, guys. This drawer here is craft acrylics. These are just a mix of your, cheap, just craft acrylics. Nothing wrong with them. I went through them. I made sure there weren't any that were dried out. But these are my favorite. These are Deco Art Americana acrylics, and I use them often in my mixed media as well. This basket is Happy Mail stuff, things that have come to me gifted either through the Advent calendar that was sent to me last year, as well as other Happy Mail that people have sent me. And then that basket is all of my sari silk that is an absolute disaster. And then just panning, this is the wall that's across from me by the closet. And again, I just have all my favorite things there, favorite people. Many of them have already passed, but I like to look at them. And since I moved my computer monitor, I can't see them as well from my chair, but that's okay. On the door there are all of my inks, as you can probably tell. I have a variety. Again, mixed media was my passion for a long time. I've got distress inks there too, spray inks, spray stains, and things from distress. That stackable bin there is all of my Your Creative Studio. I mentioned that I was going to do that, and that's working out really well. And this is my stamp collection. Again, prior to doing journal making, I was a big card maker, and so I've got a lot of stamps, none of which I'm willing to let go of. So all of my books, those are mostly books on watercolor and mixed media and such. Alcohol markers and Pitt pins in those drawers, and this is one of my favorite places in the whole studio. These are things that I've collected over the years for my child self, and I've collected them. My grandkids have given me things. A lot of miniatures have come from them. So, and just giving you one more little pan here of the room. This is me standing at the door, and and then that's where my cart sits when I'm working. When I'm going to do a video, I just turn it. So that is it, my friends. I hope that this was helpful and inspirational, and I will link everything that I can below in the video description box. And take care, my friends. Bye-bye.